Hi guys, I'm gonna quickly go over how I'm gonna try to build my Atlas in the usual self-found run. So as you can see, like I migrated to non-solo self-found, so I can have a fresh start, and I wanna try to get to 100 as soon as possible from scratch. And I want to try a different way to do my Atlas for that. So I will have, like I have 600 these. This should all be bad mods if I remember correctly. Yeah. So I want to have a 600 strand. Maybe race course. I kind of think I should test it. And then Arachnic Tomb and Atoll. So I have 3 red maps. And only 3 these red maps in these tiers, so I can have a good amount of sextant in them. So I wanna avoid using sextants to like remove bad maps as much as possible. So to do that, I have to skip the tiers, and there's a way to skip like all these tiers on the way to getting to Maze, for example. And the same for like here to the volcano and so on. So I'll normally get, all of the tier 9s done. The only tier 10 is gonna be a Mesot and Strand, Arachnic Tomb, Atoll. Then I'm gonna have a Promenade, and every tier 15 completed. And the way I can skip all of these red maps is by trading shaped maps. For example, 3 shape Arachnic Tombs.
Need a map, exile?
Trades in the Scriptorium. And to make it easier to get the tier 11 or tier 5, tier 6 and 7 Saber Orbs, since they are excavation and estuary, is that in this corner I'd either have to shape a graveyard or like a tower in order to trade 3 of them into malformation and then trade it up to excavation. And on this side, I haven't tested what a shaped wharf would trade into, but since it's a tier 11, there's a chance that it will be an estuary. A strand goes into a crematorium, so I have my hopes up that a wharf would be a estuary, so I wouldn't have to do Chateau at all. But how it's likely gonna go is that I'll just get, like, I complete Arsenal once and then keep running maps until I get 9 Arsenals and trade them into 3 Chateaus, and that gives me an estuary, so I get the Saber Orb there. So the only red maps that I need to remove from my Atlas later on are estuary and excavation. Then like an arsenal and a colonnade, because this is a tier 10 Shaper Orb. So I need to complete this in order to get a Mesa in the first place. I don't need to do Quay or Underground River at all. I will probably do Courtyard, because it can be shaped in tier 15. And it's not a horrible map. So how it's gonna go down is I have to progress this corner the most first, because I wanna have a shape, like I wanna have an Ashenwood, because it's a tier 2 shaped orb. So with that, I can shape a factory, so it's a tier 7 now, and 3 factories actually goes into a Burrows. The funny thing with Burrows is that the only way to normally get a Burrows is by finding it while running a Cells, Bog, or a Promenade if you get there from other routing, buying it from a Zana, or finding it from a Zana mission. So in solo self-fund it's kinda annoying to get your Burrows unless you're like specifically farming Cells or a Bog. And Bog is also the same. There's not a single map, not even a shape map. For example, shaped Oasis trades into a cemetery, and there's no other tier 2 here. So the only way to get a bog is by finding it from a Zana mission, buying it from a Zana, or finding it while running castle ruins, cemetery, and barrows. So the plan for this is to get the shape factory so I can start running barrows. Barrows is not actually the worst map, it's kinda okay. So I try to keep running barrows, so then I have a tier 9 map will be a promenade, and then every time a tier 8 drops, it's a 50-50 chance to be a barrows or a bog. Now the bog is good thing. I really need to get a bog because it's a tier 3 shape orb. And with that, I can shape wall pyramid into a tier 8. And that gives me a reef. Now, just like barrows and bog, reef is normally unobtainable. Like, you cannot obtain it by trading like the tropical islands. It gives you a cows for whatever. I don't know why. And it's a shape orb for tier 9, which I need in a graveyard to get into malformation. Or I could also use it on a villa.
Learn anything new.
Which gives me a courtyard. And then when I'm running in courtyards, if I don't have any other tier 10s, it's a 33% chance to get a courtyard, and then it's a higher chance to get a colonnade, which is a tier 10 orb, or tier 5 shape orb, and then arsenal, which I need in order to trade the chateaus up to estuary. So after I get the colonnade, I can shape my mesa, and I can, you know, start finding actually the mesas. It's a good thing. And the moment I have, you know, get my courtyard from the shape villas, I can remove it. It's 20 chisels and 5 regrets. It's honestly not much if you compare it to sextants that you need to remove if you want to remove a map. So I would just unshape the villa if I were to do it, then put it on a graveyard, and do the same thing here. Complete malformation once, get it dropped 3 times, get an excavation, and then I can have my strand. And how I'm gonna get my tier 13 and 14 shape orbs they are from Oba's Cursed Trove, and then what was the other one? Porchoi's Asylum. And there's also a volcano. I could get myself on a volcano as well by trading 3 shape strands in a crematorium, run it once, get it 3 times, and then, you know, go to sulfur waste and then the volcano. But that's gonna be another 6 red sextants that I need to use to remove them from my atlas. Normally it would just be for estuary and excavation. Oh yeah, and then when I get the estuary, I shape an Argent Tomb, so I can start running that. And if I feel like I wanna do the chef farm, I just trade 3 shape Arachnic into a scriptorium. So Poor Choice gives me a tier 14 orb that I'll just use the promenade, and Obas is the tier 13 that I will use in Atoll. And just like I have done here, I will shape the Atoll, so I will have to have a bad mod here, 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 and here. So I'm gonna get like really good mods on these 2, and then just I guess randomly put a one on Maelstrom Chaos as well. And I'm gonna do the same in this side. So this is a bad mod, bad, 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 bad. And if I wanna use sextants on these 2 as well, I would have bad sextant mods here as well. But I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I might wanna run Olmecs. And this is already 3 white sextants you can use here. So this would give me like 2 extra yellows. Oh yeah, this would be a bad mod too, so I get a tropical island as well. But I don't know if I wanna use yellow sextant here, because I'm most likely going to use them on armory and pier. Then this is going to be a 1 white sextant, and this is going to be like at least 2 white sextants. Hopefully I can have enough to keep getting them. And with the strategy that I explained, I don't need to use more than 6 red sextants to have the complete shaped atlas. Now what comes to getting the other, like the tier 14s, if I wanna, like, I will probably have a Springs done, to be honest. So it's a nice map, and Volcano too. So with these I can just, you know, trade 3 up to Overgrown Ruin, same for Core. And if I really want to get my hands on a Abus and a Colosseum too, I mean, I kind of wanna, I can use the same strategy of using like using the shape, like the unshaping orb, as long as I have a second board choice or Obas, which shouldn't be too hard if you have, you know, a lot of these cards. This gives you a corrupted unique map. So just by playing, I can get my tier 13 and 14 shape orb. Eventually. See, there's board choice. So that's how I'm gonna get my 13 and 14s. So I can just, in the case of Abus, I could shape my orchard or a temple to 14, wait until I have 3 of those, and then trade them into an Abus. Same goes for Colosseum. I could do it on a Coves and just trade it up to a Colosseum, or I could trade the 3 Arachnics into a Scriptorium, run it once, wait until I either have 9 Scriptoriums, which I can just trade up to here, or run Mace once and wait until I get 3 of those. I don't know if I'm gonna do any Guardians. If I do a Guardian, like actually complete the map, it's probably gonna be Mace of the Minotaur. And then I will just, like, later on, I will just, like, run it with, like, high pack size and quantity and just skip the boss. So, yeah, I guess that covers up my plan. It's a rather long video, but it explains in detail how I'm gonna actually do the Atlas. Like, that's the goal. I don't know if I will be able to sustain at the early red stages, but, like, running tier 9s and then the mesa should be able to get me enough pool to get the strands, and then strand gives me Arachnic Tombs and so on and so on. So at some point I will be able to sustain, hopefully. The biggest question mark is, am I able to sustain the sextants? If I realize that using 3 sextants here every time is too much, I will probably unshape my mesa and shape dunes instead, and just don't give a, you know, don't care about these, and then use sextants on Arachnic Tomb and Atoll. The reason I don't shape Shore is because if I want to be using sextants on these 2 as well, which if I have enough I will, so I couldn't have, like, bad mods here, or I could, but then I would have to wait for a, you know, run 3 Arachnic Dooms with the sextants here, so they and actually that doesn't even work. If you have bad mods here, the moment you have run Short 3 times, you would have to use it again. So yeah, that was a small brain farm from my side, but yeah, that's the reason I do not shape Shore. So I actually have 3 red maps that I can keep, like, doing the sextanting. I kind of want to try out Race Course 2. It's actually a very linear map if you do it correctly. You just like you, when you end the map, the moment you see a door in the next room, you just go in. So you don't actually have to full clear the rooms before going to the next room. Because the moment you kill the boss, that is one screen of backtracking, and then you just go go all the way back to the start of the map in in reverse. So it's really not that bad. And you can block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bad sextants if you use pit as a good sextants, and then a bit more if you're also using cells. I mean, 1 extra. So you could use a white sextant here as well for 5 block mobs. Mods versus the 6 on Strand. Or if you use a quarry, then you can have another one and block another one. I mean, you could do the same here in Castle Ruins. You can block bad mod on Castle Ruins, but I don't feel like using Jonin, like the yellow sextants on tier 11 is a good idea. But yeah, this video is already too long, so hope it gave you any idea on how I'm gonna do this. Or attempt doing it. Cheers. Bye bye.